Okay, we're good. And we're live in 3, 2. Welcome, everybody, to the Average Blokes Podcast.
Nailed
I'm sorry, it's just the live. Please keep that in.
I will.
Sure. Good man, because that's comedy for
gold.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And for this whole episode, I will be doing my voice like this. People told me I was going to be a radio star one day, and I said, okay.
They said you were dreaming, but sure. you too can be a radio star if you keep up with that voice.
Ever since I was a young lad, people loved the sound of my voice.
Including yourself.
I'm actually going to try and do this voice for as long as possible.
Good luck. May the force be with you, sir.
A tough man never dies, only the actors. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of true, though, because, like, Bugs Bunny and all those Looney Tunes characters, Mel Blanc did all those voices, and then he's passed away, I don't know how long ago now, but, like, the modern day voice actors, I mean, they're not as perfect, because you can obviously tell they're different.
That is true. That is very true. It is hard to think while keeping this voice.
Good luck to you, I guess.
I assumed the actor was... I'm actually surprised to hear the guy who played Bugs Bunny is no longer is dead. Because considering the people who did... The chick who did Bart Simpson in The Simpsons is still alive today, doing that voice.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't realise, Troy, Looney Tunes has been around for a lot longer than Simpsons.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I guess 40-something years versus 50, 60-something years.
Probably.
And you are correct. Looney Tunes
has been around for a lot.
Did make a lot of war propaganda for the Second World War.
And it's amazing how funny it actually is.
The Looney Tunes or war propaganda?
The Looney Tunes stuff about how they actually used the war propaganda stuff and like they did skits against Hitler and stuff like that. Or the Germans, I should say, not just Hitler, but yeah.
It was basically, they did very funny German impressions, and they did funny Jerry ones too.
Yeah,
I wanted to get to my point real quickly, so I did not do the voice.
Good point, good boy. You're learning well so quickly.
I don't understand what you mean.
Oh. Okay, so radio host Troy, how's your week been?
It has been a hard one, Jackson. I will not lie. It has been a struggle to work.
Understandable.
Working has been hard, especially since I did a workout day with Christian yesterday.
Yes.
And did deadlifts for the very first time. My legs still hurt.
Why is it specifically called a deadlift?
I don't actually know specifically why it's called a deadlift, but I think it's because you don't really move much of your body.
Oh.
Like, it's called a deadlift because you're not really...
You're doing that, you're
not even doing that. You're not none of this. Okay. You're picking it up, and then you're just lifting it.
Okay.
It's a deadlift.
Well, It's
a deadlift because even though you strengthen your muscles, you don't actually really move any of them.
It's a good thing we're a visual format currently.
Like a dead fish.
Like a dead fish. It's a good thing we're a visual format because people can see that. Like, if this was on Spotify or something, people would be like... I can't see what he's doing. What is he doing?
See, what other people do, Jackson, to get over that is what they do is they say, for those watching on Spotify, I've got my hand up right now.
And for those who are listening on YouTube...
No, people watching YouTube, I had to stop the voice to be real quick. For people to do podcasts and put it on YouTube and Spotify, what they do is they say for those watching it listening, not watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify or Apple, whatever, I'm holding up my hand and I'm doing this motion or I'm doing this. So when the scientist guy that I listen to, Dr. Huberman, explains something, he always says, I've got my hand up right now, or I'm doing this right now.
Okay.
I'm flexing this arm for those visually watching.
Yes. And for those who are not watching or whatever, Troy's got this weird filter on his Snap camera, which makes look like his eyes are always looking at the camera, so it's not scary at all.
Is it actually doing it much? Or I mean, I'm always looking. Like, I cannot look away.
I think you turned it off.
No matter what. No, it's on.
Is it?
See, look. I'm looking down, right, and it shows me looking down, but if I move my eyes slightly...
Oh, yeah, okay, you're still on.
They automatically... So, when I move them slightly, instead of jumping to the screen, they jump to where the camera is.
Yeah.
so it looks unnatural.
Technology.
And if I do that, you can actually see my eyes.
Yes, it's scary. Stop it.
It's great. I love it. It's good because I'm always looking at me. I'm always looking at the camera. It's fantastic.
As co-host, it makes me a little scary, but it's fun.
How do you think I feel? Because now when I'm looking at myself as I speak more than I'm looking at you, because I'm constantly seeing myself looking at me.
Such an amateur, this guy. I mean, it's more.
Says the guy.
It's all about.
Says Jackson. My eyes are up here. You're looking down. You need to look at the camera.
My eyes are on myself.
I need to turn off the filter just to show you what it looked like. You're basically just doing this.
I know. You're basically just looking at the floor and looking at me still.
Jackson, look, listen. I'm looking at you, right? Look into my eyes.
Yes. Well, so the only thing I can really look at yours is if I actually look into my camera. So then that way, when you see the screen,
but then you can't see me. But then you can't actually look at me.
Oh, that's right.
So it's a bit frustrating.
I should probably do that.
Which is why this is so fantastic, because I can look at myself, and it's so right now I'm looking at myself. Look at myself.
Yeah, good job. This is the reason.
It's like looking in a mirror now.
This is why we're a visual format only at this stage.
And you know the best part? Even when I'm looking at you, I'm still looking at me. I'm still looking at the camera.
Basically, folks, Troy can't get enough of looking at himself. He's just so handsome.
I just can't look away no matter what I do.
It's hard. I imagine must be very difficult being that handsome.
That's right, very handsome. Anyway, back to work wasn't too bad, but today was a bit harder because, like I said, I did more than just deadlifts, but that was the thing that I wanted to learn, and it was the first thing we started with. And oh my goodness, it was hard to do deadlifts. They started me on 47 kilos, and so I went, I'll just add another like 2.5 on each side and get up to 50 or 51. Mm-hmm. So I did 51. Meanwhile, Christian's over there. They're packing it on. They started with 80. Then they jumped to 120. And then Christian did, I think, 170.
Damn, son. Oh. So
he said that his PB was 200. And that's when he was, like, shredding.
Okay, fair enough.
When he was, like, exercising. When he was at the gym every day.
Okay, cool.
And you know the not protein shake. You know the pre-workout that he gave me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know I told you he said it gives you tingles.
Give you the shakes.
It gives you the tingles. Yeah. He said when he got his PB or when he was trying to get his like 200,
he wasn't using the pre-shake.
No, he used 2 scoops of the stuff, and the thing has a warning label saying not to use 2 scoops.
Gosh. I mean, sometimes it's like when you make a Milo, it says it recommends 2 heap spoons, but like you go a bit further and put in 4.
I don't think this is the same as making a Milo.
I'm just comparing it's very different. It says like, Milo recommends doing 2 spoons and sometimes you put 4. And
I think it's the kind of thing where it's like, don't drink more than 1 Red Bull a day.
Yeah, well, that's definitely... Well, that's...
As opposed to, don't eat more than 1 chocolate a day.
Yeah, you're asking
You're comparing drinking Red Bull to drinking a can of Coke.
True.
In this scenario, the Coke is the Milo and the Red Bull is the pre-workout.
Yeah.
Ironically, Red Bull and Coke were the flavors that he had of this stuff, so should have gone with the Red Bull flavored one.
Fair enough. My week has been okay. It feels slow because I have to work on a Saturday, so which is tomorrow for those wondering.
Well, now they can. Now we know. Now people can augment time and know when this actually occurred.
Yes, they can. If I time date this, I mean that'll give it away that we've been recording at 8:56 p.m. on a evening in February. That doesn't
the 10th.
The 10th. I was like, do I say the day just to
February.
mess with people? But yeah, So got one more day left. On the plus that I have Monday off. But I have to go get the car.
Oh, well, that's good.
I have to get the car service. But yeah, it's still nice to have a day off.
Trust me, that's a good thing. I wish I could just get a day off instead. I wish I could work a weekday and get a week. Sorry, I wish I could work a weekend, get a weekday off, so I can book my car into service and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
But I'm organising. I'm trying to organise with the office people to drop it off at the office and pick up the other van that they've got there.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Because it needs a few things fixed up.
Yep. I see. All right, Troy.
Like new rims.
It's time to move on to our favourite news segment that we've been totally trying to do consistently. Highlight of the week.
Oh, okay. My highlight was doing a deadlift for the first time. There you go. Done.
Cool.
Good talk.
I don't know what my highlight is. I think it's just getting progress on my shiny hunts, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
because
I thought it was getting more subscribers on your YouTube account.
Well, that's. I mean, it's been slow consistency climbing, but like, it's not something I'm really massively focused on. Really.
I know, but I was, because I've been keeping track of it. I'm like, oh, Jackson's got 2 more subscribers. Oh, Jackson's got 2 more subscribers. Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
And I found it funny because I'd look at your channel every once in a while. And it didn't really grow much, but since you've been doing these little shiny hunting videos, you've been slowly getting 2 or 3 subscribers here or there.
Yeah, because I've basically figured out though, the
formula.
Yeah, well, there is a formula actually. No, because like the whole thing is about like, Twitch was worried about YouTube when YouTube started making the short stuff.
Mm-hmm. Twitch was worried.
Yeah, because because the thing is, so this is what happens, right?
Do you mean? Not Twitch. What's the other one?
YouTube, TikTok.
TikTok. Wouldn't it be TikTok that would be concerned about YouTube Shorts?
I'm not sure. But whoever did it first, I think Twitch got concerned because they were realizing like people have lower attention span now these days.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So basically,
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't. No,
it does. It does. Okay, for people the diehards who have people who have Twitch accounts, those who are diehard dedicated certain Twitch channels, they will watch that stuff no matter start stream to end stream, basically, right?
Yeah, I know, it's kind of messed up in some ways.
It
has that time of day.
So I would instead of doing live streams, because my live streams don't get many views. Like when it comes to shiny hunting,
that's because you're bad.
Well, no, it's because the way I stream is bad.
You're boring. Jackson, you're boring.
Well, the thing is, shiny hunting can be a bit boring, but like when
you're boring. No, I'm just joking.
I am boring.
Yes, it can. It can be boring. It can be boring, actually.
So and the things that get views right are.
Do you know what's boring about shiny hunting?
What's that?
It's this. Ready? This is your character. Wait for it. That's annoying.
Regular.
Blah 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 blah. This regular Pokemon. Oh, that was a fast one. No. Quick exit. Reload. Game. Save. Game. Spam. Edit. Oh, that's cool. How did you do that?
I hope it fixes itself. There we go. So Troy.
I didn't do that automatically.
Yes.
2 hours later. Oh my goodness! Oh, my personal favorite is. Oh, was that it?
Yeah, that can.
Oh no!
That's what can happen. Yes.
Oh, I was just in automatic and I just missed. Oh, I missed it. Why did I kick it?
That's when it's funny, though. That's when it's kind of funny.
It is quite funny. I found it funny, but the difference was I wasn't watching it for 2 hours. I just watched the most entertaining things are like what are they called? Media thing. It's little combinations. What are they called? Compilations.
Oh yes. So yeah,
Twitch streamer compilations.
That's what I was getting to. My point was the fact that the thing that get views on YouTube is people when they have Twitch highlights or clips, or when people finally have their shiny encounter. That's what gets the views. So like comparing to the people who view a stream from start to finish compared to the people who watch the moments, a lot more people watch the highlight moments as opposed to the full clip, a full Twitch stream or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what I've sort of bothered just doing shorts as opposed to doing streams, because it's just so much easier to film the short shiny reaction, upload.
Are you filming the whole thing, or are you just sort of waiting?
No, so I'm just waiting. So I'm doing the hunts, and then when the shiny comes up, I grab my phone, YouTube app, create the short, bang.
Fair enough. Because I was going to say you'd be better off like filming the whole thing and then just removing all the mess.
Yeah,
and keeping that.
No, that's something I've done in the past, but like
I'm surprised you don't do it on your computer rather than your.
Well, the thing is,
your actual Game Boy.
Well, this is the thing, right? Because the DSs, like these DSs I've got, you can't really put a capture card in, because some 3DSs you can put a capture card, but not these ones. So that way, you can, yeah, but you have to do a third-party organization where you have to send it away to get it installed. I just can't be bothered doing that because it's just too much work, and I don't want to do that. So it's just easy for me to when a shiny happens, get the phone, record, quick reaction, and then I'll upload the short, and then after the short's upload, I'll go and catch it. And
fair enough. Your camera's moving.
I know. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, so interesting.
I'll tell you why. So
Be quick about it.
I will be. Shout out to Cash Converters. The end.
What?
Yeah. So
they bought your. You buy your camera?
I'm
from
sponsored.
That's why you bought a dodgy camera.
It's not really dodgy, you know what? Because this camera, I did some research, is generally.
When did you buy this camera?
It's Cash Converters.
No, when?
A couple of days ago.
Ah, okay. So this is a new camera.
Yeah. So these things are worth like $390 for brand new.
You got it for like $60, $100, 60.
Pretty much.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. I think people just don't use it.
I think we figured out what's wrong with it, Jackson.
I mean, yeah, but like, it's fine. If I do this, watch it'll.
I don't know what's wrong with it. Next thing you know, it zooms into your face. Jackson, fine. My camera works perfectly fine. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'll go over here.
Oh,
it says, "Come back, Jackson." So I'm like, "Okay, here I am."
That's cool.
Yeah. And then it's like, "Oh, you're over there now." So maybe bring you over there.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. Except what you don't understand is before you adjusted, you were over here.
I know. And it's like, "Oh, how dare you go over there? I'm going to follow you."
I got the camera. I got the camera from Cash Converters. I don't know. It works perfectly fine. Do you know what's?
No. So you know what it is? It's in the software for this camera, and actually it enables it. So it's a decision I've made, and I'll give it a go. Just give it a test run.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
Like I said, my camera also does that. See, look.
Yeah, manually. And now you screwed your camera up angle forever. No.
Not really. Was it even in the right position?
I don't really know.
We'll just adjust that. It actually needs to be more centered to the screen anyway. There we go.
All right, but that's you want to finish?
That's your highlight. So that's your highlight of the week, I guess. It's not the shiny hunting. It's your new camera that moves around.
It's kind of funny, no? It's just it's because it's
cool. I like it.
I'm surprised how cheap it was too, because like it's worth so much. It was just sitting there, Cash Converters.
Nice.
So if you want if you want good new stuff, which kind of been used before, it's really good.
Yeah, I love Cash Converters. I haven't been there in ages.
Yeah.
The only problem with Cash Converters is they don't really know the good thing and bad thing is that they don't really know the value of things.
No, which is it's self-explanatory too.
Like I said, they sold you a $300 camera for like $60.
Yep.
Because they just went, it's a web camera.
Because you know why though? I think it's because
$60.
It was just an office camera, web camera. People who just use meetings and then like, oh, we don't need them all. We're going in person to meetings now these days.
True, but but you go into Cash Converters and you walk in, you grab a Makita battery that's covered in water and dust.
Oh yeah,
and it's like $100 and. I can get this brand new for $120.
You should be going to Cash Converters to buy grinders because the amount of times you burn out your grinders.
No. If I bought a Cash Converters grinder, I'd be coming back an hour later.
Yeah, well,
it'd last a day.
That's so.
They don't. The grinders that I use, Jackson, they don't buy or sell at Cash Converters.
No, they're too expensive. They're too good.
That's right. They're too good.
All right, Troy, let's get on to our topic. That was some good small talk there. That must went for 20 minutes, but that's good small talk. Good small talk.
Well, okay. All right, fair enough. Before we let me have a quick look. Yeah, it's on 19 for me, but anyway.
Yeah.
Before we go on to that, actually, so how long do you want small talks to be, Jackson?
I don't care. It's open-ended, honestly.
Because it seems like you're like, oh man, it's 40 minutes. I guess we can get onto the subject.
No, I'm happy for it to be as long as possible,
Jackson, maybe this title of this episode could be Small Talk Only.
But it's 20 minutes long.
We're sorry.
But we're not.
I was supposed to do that voice, and now it has changed.
Oh, it's come back, has it?
I need to get back into the Duffman voice.
Duffman! No, I can't do his voice. I used to be able to.
I just love that one line. Duffman never dies. Only the actors. Oh, yeah.
Duffman is the party. Or something. Is a bit of the life of the party stuff. So I can't remember.
Duffman parties all night and all day forever.
Okay. You've encountered the subject.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, what's your subject?
Okay, so
Pokemon.
No. I thought for some reason we've encountered the subject, but it's stupid. Okay. Never mind.
I see.
Stupid bit. No,
I like it. That was good.
Thank you.
I didn't get it at first,
okay.
But it took me a second. You've encountered the subject. I didn't get that.
No, that's okay. So my subject is I've discovered a cool, fun podcast recently called The Cryptoid Factor.
Ah, you were telling me about this, or you mentioned it.
It's a bunch. So currently the people who are on are slightly different compared to when it started. So it's 3 New Zealander blokes.
Yeah. What do New Zealanders know about cryptic stuff?
I actually don't know, which is what I got interested about, because New Zealanders are a bit different. They're a bit different from like everyone, like from the podcast I listen to.
Bunch.
They're a funny bunch. I do like this because one of the particular is Rhys Darby. If you know who Rhys Darby is, Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, I do know Flight of the Conchords.
He's from the Flight of the Conchords.
Isn't that comedy?
Yes, it's a comedy. Yes, so he's from there.
Wasn't that an Australian one?
No.
Oh.
Well,
maybe I'm thinking of the Chasers War.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can talk about them another time, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of them.
That's fair.
It's alright.
No, so Rhys Darby...
Low-hanging fruit.
Rhys Darby is the main guy on that show, and he's really funny. But he's got a fascination for cryptid stuff. But they talk about not just particularly just cryptid stuff. They mainly focus on cryptoid zoology, which is basically hidden animals or, weird animals.
The study of hidden animals.
Kind of like... so they focus mainly on Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Mongolian deathworm kind of stuff, Just
I see.
Animals in places where they're not meant to be, really. It's kind of a thing.
So, it's just that's every cryptic.
I know.
That's what a cryptic is.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is they sort of...
Cryptic zoology.
That's what they say.
What did you major in? I majored in cryptic zoology.
But, this is... I don't know if it's actually a legit thing, but that's what they keep saying every now and then. And it's kind of cool, because it helps you really understand what they're actually kind of talking about.
I mean, not really. It's the same as saying cryptid zoology and cryptids. It's the same thing.
I guess, but yeah, I know.
Like don't know what's like zoology would imply they've captured them. They're enclosed, or they're not caged. They are caged, but
yeah, I understand. So when you say captured though, but when they say that, they kind of mean like they've caught footage or audio recordings of these things.
Okay, when I think of
first person,
when I think of the term zoology or cryptic zoology, I think of like fantasy creature or make believe creature that they have not that's domesticated that they've found and domesticated.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah. But these guys took a bit of a...
It doesn't matter. It sounds cool. That's the main thing.
It's really entertaining because, like I said, it's 3 New Zealander blokes mainly. I'm up to... They back in the past, they weren't really consistent with their episodes. They were... Like, right now, they did an episode maybe every 3 or 4 months. So it's a bit hit and miss depending on when they record.
We're better.
I can understand because they do... Like, Rhys Darby is a really well-known comedian and actor for TV shows and stuff.
He's busy. Yeah, I getcha.
So it's kind of their hobby thing, which is kind of what we're doing here. This is kind of our
How long are the episodes?
45 to an hour long. 45 minutes to an hour long.
Okay, so that's pretty normal.
And they're pretty good stuff they talk about too. So there's a few things I've heard so far on the episodes that I kind of want to talk to you about.
Alright.
So the first thing is, did you know in New Zealand there are wallabies? Yes. No, you didn't.
I mean, no, I didn't really know that.
No.
But it would make sense.
It kind of... Well, a little bit.
You do know that New Zealand and Australia were originally connected,
yes,
supposedly.
But... No, well, that is true, but that's not the reason how they were found there.
Okay.
So back in
They were probably brought over too.
Yes, 1860s, I believe. So wallabies are actually considered to be a pest in New Zealand. And they damage a lot of native forests and regeneration, which is, not surprising. But they were introduced like in the 1860s or something like that by some guy who thought it'd be a good idea to take them over there.
Of course, that's how it all happens.
Yeah,
that's why we have the cane toad.
But yeah, so I was just surprised because I'm like, wallabies in New Zealand. That's kind of odd because considering obviously wallabies are only mainly found in Australia, and being an Australian animal that it is. But yeah, and apparently there's quite a lot of them too. So.
Okay. Well, I don't find it that strange.
I mean, it's a little bit like just when I thought about it, I without knowing that they were introduced by someone over in New South Wales or wherever it was, without them saying that part of the context, it's like, what? There's wallabies? Because if without knowing what the story behind them, I'm like, wow, that's really odd. Like wallabies in New Zealand, that's not what you think of animals when it comes to New Zealand. Obviously, they've got...
is that because of your Is that because of your bias towards New Zealand?
No. I just don't think of New Zealand having wallaby like Australian animals.
Because Americans would probably like, oh, it's weird. They have kangaroos in Australia. That's a weird thing.
Well, no. I guess the American thing would be that they have reindeer as well in Australia because people have farmed reindeer here in Australia or just deer. I guess. The funny thing is
they turn around and say that, but then they'd be like, well, wait a minute. There's deer in Europe. There's deer here. They have deer in China. Like, yeah, it's like cows. You don't think it's weird that cows are in Australia, do you?
And also camels.
But they're not native.
We got introduced to camels as well in Australia. That's another thing too.
Do you think it's weird camels being in Australia?
A little bit.
I don't. It's a bloody desert out there.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying that they it's normal.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be there.
No,
So anyway, but that's not really a cryptid though.
No, it's not really. No, it was just something that they mentioned during
it's an interesting subject. It's an interesting thing.
So the other thing is too, right? Another thing was early days they had Arj Barker on their show. Do you remember who Arj Barker is or know who he is?
No, I don't know people, Jackson.
Okay, cool. Arj Barker is an American comedian, but he's got Indian heritage. Anyway, he's also
that would explain the name.
Yeah, he's got a UFO interest as well, and he was talking about a UFO incident that actually happened in Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
However, it happened before our time.
Okay. So there's been a few UFO encounters in Australia.
So this is called the Westall UFO. It's called. So basically, it happened in Oakley, I believe it was, and what happened was there was a high school and the students were on recess, I believe, and they were like explaining. It looked like a flying object described as a grey saucer-shaped craft with a slight purple hue and about twice the size of a family car. According to the students, the objects were just descending and overflew the high school and disappeared behind a stand of trees. Approximately 20 minutes later, the object reportedly reappeared, climbed at speed, and departed towards the northwest.
I always find it weird that they do that.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So
a lot of these flying saucer or group flying saucer encounters, the ship always appears, right? Hovers around, then disappears.
Yep.
Then comes back and then disappears really quickly.
And
it's like, if you disappeared the first time, why are you coming back again just to go away faster?
So the weird thing was, this was 1966, right? Happening in Clayton. When this happened, apparently all like the army and a lot of officers came and just tried to shut it down, like nothing happened. Mm-hmm. So there was some suspicion going on there.
That's suspicious. That is actually it's giving me the goosebumps.
So people were thinking it was like a weird high altitude weather balloon or something like that.
Or it could be a flying saucer.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny though, because today,
maybe it was China spying on us.
How topical, Troy.
They've done it to America recently.
And
they're doing it to everyone else with their bloody spy weather balloons.
Yeah.
What is the word called? Tactical weather balloons.
Tactical weather balloons.
What is it called when something not turns invisible, but it's like sneaks around?
Cloak? Oh, stealth.
Cloaked. With their stealth weather. Yeah. That's it. Stealth weather balloons.
So, a bit of fun fact about that the place where this thing landed, in 2006, the council built a playground there, and they put in a UFO type play equipment. And
it turns out all the kids actually just dropped acid. Yeah. they just saw the play equipment.
Gosh. But yeah,
that's why all the government workers, it's zooming in on you again.
I know, it's good.
Maybe move around.
Yeah.
It's because you did this. Yeah, you put you looked down, you had your finger, you focused on your hand. Anyway.
Yeah, so
cash converters, huh?
Yeah, good cash converters. I mean, I can actually turn.
I'm only teasing you. It's actually quite funny.
It is very funny. So yeah, that was something quite interesting too that happened. Like, it happened in Melbourne too, supposedly. So yeah, UFOs are quite an interesting thing too, because you hear the odd random story about I got abducted and stuff like that. There was an NBA player, 2009. I can't remember. He was on a podcast with some other dudes, and he just randomly outbursted that he got abducted. Apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah.
An NBA player.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd believe him if he's saying that. And that's when I became bad at basketball, and they kicked me.
I would change forever.
It was the aliens, man. They took away my They Looney Tuned my skills away.
Yeah, and so my question to you,
as they probed me, all I could hear was "Shut up and jam," and welcome to the gym. Sorry, I'm referencing Space Jam.
That's fair. So my question to you is: do you believe in most cryptids?
I mean, I don't believe in most cryptids, but I reckon the aliens are real. The crypt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. I don't.
There's too many encounters out there where people have actually encountered aliens where you can't turn around and go, "Nah, it's definitely not real." And there's always a lot of similar encounters and similar things happening to people that don't know each other, that haven't met each other, and some of them are 50 years apart in completely different areas.
Yeah, and
like if you're getting the same story from a person in America and a person who lives all the way in Europe, and then a person in Australia, and then another person, and then a person in Russia, 50 years later, like you're sitting there going, well, what's the connection here?
Because the other thing is too, right? Is like because there's the Bigfoot, there's Sasquatch, then there's like the Europeans version, which is like the Yeti, I guess you could say, and then Australian we have the Yowie. Which
we've got a Yowie. I didn't know about that one. Are you sure that's a thing?
Yeah, it's an indigenous one, I believe. Indigenous myth.
I mean, I knew about the bunyip.
Yeah, no, the Yowie. Oh, bunyip is also another thing, but I think it's separate.
Bunyip's different, but
I believe.
I didn't know there was a Bigfoot version, the Yowie, in Australia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I might be wrong about that.
And it's an indigenous thing?
Indigenous mythology sort of thing, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they are. It's confusing because maybe they are out there because all these cultures have the same similar story of a hairy man.
Yeah. What is with all these hairy men? just, and they all have to be bipedal, gorilla looking, you know? Like, why can't they be normal, sort of... Actually, no, saying normal is not really nice either because if it's not a monster, then it wouldn't be normal or whatever. But yeah.
But the problem with like Bigfoot versus, for example, aliens is you have situations like the one you were just talking about that occurred in Melbourne, where it was a bunch of like primary school kids. Like it's not just one kid or one person; it's a bunch of people.
Yeah. And
then you've got the army and that coming in,
and
trying to figure out what's going on and what's the word? Repression of information. Whereas with all these Bigfoot encounters and stuff like that, and Sasquatches and whatnot, there's always some underlining goal or something, or there's something always sus in the story. It's never just I saw a Bigfoot. Here's a video of it.
Yeah.
It's a blurry image, or it's a footprint on the ground, or even when it's a recorded video, it's like a 5-second clip. It's never longer than
shaky or blurry,
and it's shaky and blurry, and oh my.
Yeah.
Like there's have you seen that like the ghost car video? It's a very famous one.
Ghost car video.
So it's a police chase. I think it's in America. These police are chasing this car, right?
Oh, there's no one in it.
And it's speeding. Well, no, it's wobbling all around the streets. It goes around this corner, right, and literally goes through a fence.
This one. Oh, yes.
And if it's fake, they've done a brilliant job of like making it look realistic.
Yeah, okay.
But in the video, you see the car actually go through the fence, and the cop car has to stop.
Yeah, so someone commented saying the car simply drove through the fence that was unattached at the bottom, so it slid up over the car. Lots of scratches on the car, but no big deal.
What, the ghost car one?
Yeah.
You see it halfway through the fence.
Yeah, well,
like you see it actually through the fence.
Yeah.
Like it passes through.
Yeah.
And like I said, that it could be fake. It could be. When was it posted? That's what I want to know.
It was originally 1997.
The original video clip, 1997.
That's when it was recorded.
And it's supposedly it's police footage. It's a cop car footage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for them to fake that at that point in time. Like the technology was there, but it was a bit harder to get to. There'd be no point in doing it.
No,
like it wasn't.
No, because the other thing is too, like with UFOs and aliens, right? Because like it's easier to mock up a Bigfoot thing. You just get a costume that looks remotely like a big gorilla or whatever. But with aliens, like or even a UFO, who's putting in the money to make a weird looking flying saucer thing? Because like there was a Japanese cargo flight plane which spotted these big random lights in the sky. There was like two of them, two big pillars of these lights. And then half an hour later, they saw this massive spherical, looking like shaped like a walnut type thing, vehicle, which he thought that might have been the main vessel for these lights thing. So like, it's kind of hard to falsify that kind of stuff. But like, again, there was no real picture proof. There was radar proof, like they came up on the radar on the plane that they spotted the vessels. But like, there was no video proof, which is, I guess, annoying. Like, this is the problem with cryptid stuff as well, because like it's so hard to get definite evidence or proof that these things exist.
Well, that's why it's a cryptic thing.
Yeah,
that's
I guess. Yeah.
But the thing that gives it a bit more leeway is, as you said, you've got plane operators who are like calling this stuff out. They're like saying, "This is what I'm seeing in the sky," and they're not saying it because they're not going. They're not going, "Oh, there's aliens there." They're going, "There's a big object in the way of the plane."
Yeah.
Like, it's coming towards our plane. Houston, we have a problem. Or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
ground control.
And jet pilots, like, do you want us to shoot this thing down? It's in our airspace.
Yeah. Yes. No, because...
Control, we have a spherical object, and we have a UFO, an unidentified flying object in the sky. Permission to light ablaze the sky.
Well, yeah, it is interesting because like there have been like the Navy or the Army have supposedly spotted vessels or whatever, and they've just not done anything about it. Because we don't know what technologies supposedly those UFOs may or may not have, like despite having quick speed, obviously. Because they can just zoom in. One of the hosts on the Cryptoid Factor has this great theory about UFOs, right? UFOs are human beings from the far future, and they're time traveling back into our day to see either themselves or their ancestors.
Oh, to see what humans look like?
Yeah, or what their ancestors were doing back in the past, so in our current day.
I mean, it's not a bad thought.
I know. I really liked it. I don't know.
Not a bad idea.
I don't think it's... I mean, it's possible. It's not a bad theory. But like...
And as they keep saying, like, because we don't find life on
other planets.
Any of the planets close by, like, to actually try and find life, it's very, very far away. And even the stuff that's close to us is, like, bacteria and stuff.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. Yeah, so like...
it's just as likely that future humans have invented some sort of time travel device that can jump in and out.
Yeah.
That it is that aliens are using space drives because it's all relative. Time is very relative, and basically, the faster you go, the more time warps.
Yep.
And that's an actual thing. So if they actually invented the ability to travel faster than the speed of light. Like, time for a person going that speed, it would go so much slower. So, in other words, if you're traveling at that speed, I'm not a physicist or anything, but I think that if you go fast enough, when you come back, like, let's say you invented faster than light speed, you went out into space a couple million light years, and then you came back. In that time, because you're going at that fast speed, when you get back, the Earth would have actually rotated several times over, and it could have been several years.
Yeah,
could have gone past. But for you, it was seconds.
Yeah,
and because it's relative to your experience, you're not super aging by 200 years or 50 years. You're feeling those seconds in that time.
Yeah, which is nuts, absolutely nuts. Yeah.
So all that stuff is possible out there. So if it's possible, it's probable.
Yeah, it's just nuts to me though, like how, like sometimes humans can't comprehend that kind of stuff, and and it's hard to see to put in practice. Like, I guess the closest thing we've got of how that would look is Back to the Future movies. you know how the DeLorean is basically the time traveler and whatnot, but
true. Well, the thing, like, as I was talking about with time and all that, that's because going forwards in time is easy. Yeah. Going backwards in time is the hard part.
Yeah.
Hence why because they actually they've proven how to go forwards in time. What was it? I'm trying to remember the actual, but yeah, as I was saying with light speeds and that, you can actually go forwards in time.
So so I'm enjoying that podcast. It's actually kind of enjoyable, and because I noticed they had when they had the host change. The host that they introduced is a guy from another podcast that I've been listening to for quite a while.
Welcome, I'm the new host of the podcast.
And so I'm kind of excited when they get to the episode when they introduce the new guy. So I'm like, oh, he's finally here! Like, this is the man I've been waiting for. It's the new host that I know from another podcast.
So you're sitting there going, I'm only listening to this until this guy shows up.
Kind of. But like, because Reese Darby, like I said at the start, he's one of the main hosts at the start. I like him a lot, so listening to him because his voice is so particular. Like you could pick out his voice. He's got like a real high pitched voice.
Nice
yeah, he's got a real high pitched voice.
Hello, everybody.
Not that high. Me. Not that high, but
I know. But when you say high voice, I don't jump to like.
No.
Oh hey, I jump to hello.
You get extreme high.
I can do extremely high.
Yes, no, you've made it sound good. So yeah,
I can be Mickey Mouse.
So yeah, like
Goofy. Oh no.
So it's kind of funny too, because like so this new guy who's coming eventually, when I'm listening to it, he has a fascination with Yetis.
Don't know why.
I don't know either. He just likes Yetis.
Yetis are only found in Yeti hunting games,
and they're
Bigfoot hunting
and
games.
They're only supposedly found in the Himalayas or the Alpines somewhere. I'm not sure. So it'd be interesting to see.
They're the white ones. Yeah.
Yes. So my theory.
Do Yetis have horns or not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
My thought is that they're albino Bigfoot because obviously they're white.
Yeah, true. See, I always imagined Yetis of having horns of being a bit more creature-esque.
Yeah, I can understand.
I'm pretty sure if I search Yeti, I think it comes up with more like a beast rather than a person.
And not the car Yeti, because the Yeti car is just a van from memory.
Yeah. I should. Yeah, if you actually Google Yeti, they're more like a ape monster rather than a Bigfoot. They are sort of big. Some of them are shown as Bigfoot, but they're shown more like monster-esque features.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny. It's come out with the Yeti from Pixar, which that's the one I always think of.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. So, yeah.
If I search Bigfoot, yeah, Bigfoots are actually shown to be more humanoid looking. They're more like, I said the other ones were apes, but they're more, one looks more like is like the way people depict Bigfoot in images, it's more like an ape, while a Yeti looks more like a baboon in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So one's got a mouth, the other has fangs, and like.
Yeah. So back on Bigfoot, they had a funny theory that, for the reason why the Bigfoot exists is because back when they were filming one of the Star Wars films, one of the locations they used for a certain scene where Chewbacca crash landed onto one of the planets. They filmed that in a place called Buffalo Creek, which is in Washington State
Come on down
or California.
To Buffalo Creek.
And so they were jokingly
the water's fresh and the fish are big.
So
Buffalo Creek.
They had this joking theory that the reason why this Bigfoot's always spotted there is because it's actually Chewbacca.
Of the Chewbacca. That's brilliant. Could you imagine like the original, like it comes out to people like, oh yeah, I saw this thing, and there were these little other ones too.
Yeah, I don't know what those
Turns out it's just a bunch of Ewok costumes.
Ewoks, that's it.
Kids in Ewok costumes.
Oh, and they all have the funny sounding voices as well from memory. Like
I was in the forest and I heard like a... Can't do the Bigfoot noise. I mean, can't do the Chewbacca sound. Oh yeah, that's not bad. That wasn't too bad. But the idea, I think Chewbacca's based off Bigfoot.
Yeah, which is why they talk about Buffalo Creek being the place where they've been spotting Bigfoots.
But you gotta remember, you gotta check to see how long that's been happening.
Yeah,
because people have been seeing Bigfoots before Star Wars came out. Well, then the story doesn't line up.
No, it doesn't really. But yeah, So, what else was there? Oh, they talked about some of their own New Zealanders' own cryptids or mythological sort of animals, and apparently there was this big. In New Zealand there was this massive eagle, and like it was that big that he actually used
the holy bird.
I can't remember. It was the horsed bird eagle. H-A-W-S-T bird eagle. Horsed. H-A-W-S-T.
So not horse, but
no, horsed, I believe. And it was so big, like imagine our wedge-tailed eagle, but like maybe 5 times bigger.
Okay, so it's the size of a dog.
Probably, but
I don't know how big I actually don't know how big a wedge-tailed eagle is.
It was up to 15 kilograms. It was massive.
The wedge-tail or this eagle?
This eagle. Oh, it's a horse. Sorry, not a horse.
15 kilos. Okay.
So
the size of a dog.
Yeah. So this was a bird. This is a.
This was definitely a
Maori,
bird of prey.
a Maori sort of Maori animal that they kind of. It was a myth kind of Maori bird. But it was.
We're saying it wrong.
Sorry.
Maori.
Maori. Yes.
Yes. Think of Maori, but Maori.
Yeah. So it used to be like one of the most killer.
Or maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Maybe. It was considered to be a carnivore too, I believe. It was a carnivore bird, and it was just so big. But it went extinct in like 1400s because apparently I think they learned how to hunt it. But
well, it's a big bird. There's a reason why big birds don't really exist.
No,
because the bigger they are, the harder it is to fly.
Yeah.
So the more food. There's a reason why all the big birds out there are carnivore birds. Carnivore birds. Not carnival. I've been watching. You've been talking to me about bloody. You brought this subject up, but Courtney and I have been watching Carnival Row.
Never heard of it.
It's a TV show. It's a fantasy. Not steampunk. It's a early, like, I'm trying to think. 19
mythological.
I'm going to say steampunk fantasy. It's not really steampunk, but it takes place in a steampunk era.
It says a growing population of mythological immigrant creatures.
Yes,
struggle to exist with humans after creatures' exotic homelands are invaded by empires of man.
Correct. There's two empires fighting, and the mythological creatures like pixie people, which are just people with wings.
It's that actress.
And they've got ram people. Orlando Bloom, yes.
No, actress. Cara Delevingne, whatever her name is.
I think Courtney heard me say Orlando Bloom.
I know Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, she loves Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Cara Delevingne, whatever her name is. I've seen it before.
Don't worry about the. Anyway, the point of it is they're essentially cryptic humanoids.
Yep.
That are stuck in a steampunk style society in Britain. Essentially, it's London. It's London, but like old school with steam trains and all that. I'm trying to think of the era. What era it was? The 1700s.
Oh, okay.
1700s style era. London, but with mythological creatures but they're all humanoid ones.
Right.
So you got ram people with ram horns,
like Minotaur, Centaur kind of stuff.
No, just really? It's literally a person, right? A normal head, except they've got ram horns, and I guess the top of their head is a bit more hard.
Right.
And then you got pixie people which are just like people with wings, and there were a couple of centaurs in it.
Okay.
And there's a couple, but it's mostly centered around crime. It's a crime drama sort of thing.
Okay, interesting. Fair enough. I'm gonna have to need you to carry me for another 10 minutes because I've ran out of the stuff I was going to talk about.
How many episodes of this podcast have you watched?
20.
20? What? And listen, what did they talk about besides Bigfoot and bloody New Zealand eagle?
It's a very niche podcast. I'll say that much.
Niche podcast. They haven't brought up any. That's all they brought up in 20 episodes.
I'm trying to think what else because they have like they start off with weird news, and so there's lots of Florida man stuff.
Oh my goodness!
Florida man was discovered swimming naked in a toxic pond.
Oh. Goodness. Florida man discovered biting people's necks and churning them.
Florida man spotted crocodile underneath his bed.
Spotted a crocodile underneath his bed. Wow. That's unfortunate.
It really is. And then they made
Daddy, I'm scared there's a monster under the bed. No, there's no. Here, I'll check this. Oh my goodness. There's a crocodile there.
They made a joke saying when the guy...
You mean alligator, right?
No, crocodile. They said crocodile.
A crocodile. Oh.
They made the joke that when the guy got out of bed to go to the bathroom and came back to say, "Oh, where are my Crocs?"
Where all them Crocs at?
So
it's almost like going over there. It's almost like going over there and going, "Oh, I lost me thong." You what? My thong.
Oh yeah.
Have you? I can't. I need both of them. What do you mean you need both of them? My thongs.
Your yandles.
I need both my thongs. Where you wear them? My feet. Where else do you wear a thong?
So another thing they brought up, actually, now that I remembered, was did you ever watch the X-Files?
Yes, actually, the X-Files. When I was younger, I don't know what it was, but the music just creeps me the hell out. Like, that music was some of the scariest music for me. I love the song now, but when I was younger, I heard it I didn't even watch an episode. I just watched the opening and freaked out for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But just the do 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 do.
So
like, I'd be hiding underneath my bed with the Crocs.
So a lot of their shows are apparently based around cryptids and stuff and monsters. I believe.
Yeah, it's about two government agents investigating the cryptids and and aliens and whatnot.
So Rhys Darby actually appeared on a season. I don't know what he did, but because
they brought back the show, right?
Yes,
they
this is 2016, 2015, 2016. Yeah,
it didn't do too well.
No, apparently not.
I tried watching it. It was just kind of boring.
Yeah,
it didn't really. It was too much about character development of
and
the
not so
characters,
much,
and not so much about what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing, because apparently, they brought it back because it did so well. So why not keep doing it again just to see how it goes? But
that's fair. But you got to actually do it similar to how I'm not sure how the original story went, but I'm pretty sure I've watched a couple of episodes and it didn't quite go the same way as it did in the new seasons. Like I said, it focused too much on the character development. But when you're developing characters that are already pre-developed, like you're not given a blank slate, you're given a pre-made character who has their own story and way of doing things. So they should have just run with that and had them figure out these mysteries.
Yeah. So Rhys Darby appears on it. He appears as the were-lizard / were-monster, and it's basically
were-lizard.
Yeah,
were-lizard.
Like a lizard, like a weird wizard man kind of thing. If you know what that is.
Did you say wizard man or lizard man?
No. Lizard. But
I swear you said a weird wizard man. No.
So on the show's
the
thing,
mud
it says
wizard came out of the ground.
The were-lizard, like werewolf.
Beware or where. Yeah, I know what a were-lizard is.
Yeah, so that's what he played as.
Honestly, you could put were over anything.
I guess you can, really, couldn't you? His abilities were squirting blood from his eyes.
How's that an ability?
I don't know.
I thought he'd grow his hand back or something.
I don't know. But yeah, so Rhys Darby plays as him in season 10.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Meet the were-monster. There was also...
Wherefore art thou, lizard?
So there was a lizard man type creature spotted, similar to the thing that in the X-Files. Mm-hmm. There's been a few sightings of the lizard man. Not the guy with tattoos and a horn, that's actually a dude.
Yeah, that guy.
Is
he called the lizard man?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So he's a dude with green tattoos, and I think
I've seen he's got the implants in his skin.
He's got I can't remember,
maybe that's the most tattooed man or something.
Yeah, that's probably the one. But this guy's got a split tongue like a lizard too, and it's freaky.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the same guy, and he's bald, isn't he?
Yes,
he's a
very
small,
bald
guy. Yeah.
Very bald.
Hasn't he got the earrings or something?
Probably. So, because, lizard man to me sounds such an American thing, though. Like, I feel like they make up monsters now these days, and then people take those ideas of monsters and try to turn them into a real thing.
I mean, turn them into a real thing. Yeah, well, you could do that. It's not that difficult to do something.
Not really.
That's the funny thing. It's not difficult to actually fake something like that. Beware the were-rabbit.
The were-rabbits. What's he going to do? Run fast?
You haven't seen Wallace
Oh
and Gromit?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I just remembered. Yes, I do know what the whereabouts is.
The
That's Wallace and
Beast.
Gromit. That's not real.
Of course, it's not real.
I know, but like I'm just imagining like in real life, like if a wherever was real, what
if
would
Wallace
it be?
and Gromit was real, that'd be fantastic. I wish there was a British man out there like Wallace.
There probably
That'd be
is.
so good. He comes up to
Come
the
here,
front door
you
and he's
want a
like,
cup of
"Hello,
tea?
would you like some cheese?"
Oh, Gromit, cheese and crackers.
Turns out there is a real Wallace out there, but he's actually got a really bad disease that forces him to do this.
Oh my goodness! Isn't the reason why he does that because he knits?
No, I think it's an excitement thing. Like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
he goes because he's like, oh boy, cheese, cheese.
Goodness. Yeah.
Jackson, oh boy, who?
I'm not going to explain what happened. That wasn't audio form. Just people use your imagination.
Oh god, it's me. Will there even be an audio form?
Maybe.
Get it on Spotify, Jackson.
Yeah,
Get on it.
I might actually. When I've got energy and spare time, Imagine having spare time.
I mean, I got all the spare time in the world.
Maybe
I
you
got
could.
too much. I got too much time. It's annoying.
Maybe you
I got
should.
I got so much time I don't even use it properly. That's the annoying thing.
How's your video YouTube stuff going, Troy?
Pretty bad actually.
Okay.
It's bad in the sense that I just don't seem to get. I haven't developed a habit of it or motivation for it. So when I do think to do something or record a video or even play a game to record, I go, I don't want to do it now.
Want to do a collab? I can do. Put me on one of your videos and I'll post it on my channel and I'm sure I'll get some clicks.
Sounds good. Yeah, get me some viewers, Jackson.
Yeah.
I want some of that sweet. Actually, do it when you get 1,000 subscribers.
I mean, I can do it now. You'll get views.
I suppose, but that's not the point. I don't want views,
I
and
suppose.
I want hand-me-downs, but I don't want people who are interested in Splatoon.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
These need to be people that are interested in actually watching me.
That's fair. That's right.
But I do want to leech off you just a little bit. As I say that, the camera zooms into your nipple.
The camera can't get nothing.
That's what you did to where your nipple
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
As I was saying, leech off. Give me
this.
some of that sweet YouTube subscriber.
Oh goodness me! Well, this has been a fun experiment with this camera. I have to say that much.
I think it's great. You should keep it that way.
I think I might.
It makes it more
just
entertaining.
for lulz, yeah. I can imagine streaming just randomly and like excitement moments, and I do a reaction, and the camera's like, "Where is he going? Where is he? Can't keep up with him. Where is he? He needs to stop moving. Else I'm gonna stop filming." And it's just like, okay.
Alright, so before we can end it now, but I want to talk a little bit
Go
longer,
on.
I think.
Go for it.
So I just want to focus back on this subject. Were you focusing on cryptids specifically, or this podcast talking about cryptids?
A bit of both, I guess.
It's been a little bit more about both, but you haven't really said much besides the standard.
No. I just wanted to talk about what they've talked about.
Okay, but you've only brought up like 3 episodes worth or something.
Yeah, because they do.
What else did they talk
They
about?
do tend to repeat. There was one fun, stupid thing they mentioned was.
So they're uncreative.
Well, I mean, they don't. It's hard to, I guess, because it is a very niche podcast, and they don't record as much as they used to. Like at the point I'm listening to, like the episodes I'm up to.
You're 20 episodes in. How many times have they bloody brought up Bigfoot in those 20 episodes?
Quite a few times.
What, as a main subject?
And well, no, they do. They have segments, so they have. Weird news. So that's their first sort of like they get into weird, wacky news of the world.
Where they just go into Florida Man.
And then they basically, well, not always basically, but like, then they go to about first person encounters.
Of the first kind.
And then
Encounters of the first kind.
You know what I mean. And then they go into cryptid buzz news, which they talk about. There's an actual website they reference. And they get
it's BuzzFeed but for cryptids.
Kind of.
Oh my goodness.
And
it's just what people have seen around the world, or in America?
Yes.
Or
No,
New
around the world.
Zealanders? Okay.
So there was an article on that website they were reading. It was there's a dating site for people who like paranormal stuff. So if you want to match up with someone who likes werewolves as well, you can find it.
No, that's brilliant. Oh my goodness. Interested in werewolf girl? Wait. Is this a furry website?
No, it's only if you're interested in the
werewolf. Interested in girl likes to act like werewolf but won't dress up as one. Please don't dress as actual wolf. I just want someone who growls like one.
I can probably, actually, that's probably what they would do, though. I can imagine that. But like the idea is, if you like horror movies, then similar horror movies, or if you like aliens and the person you want to find also likes aliens, then yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with similar interests.
Yeah.
But you'll find that generally people or relationships that last longer are generally people that have like those slight differences.
Yeah.
Not even opposites do attract, but it's just the best way for me to describe it is different ways of thinking.
Yes, definitely.
Which doesn't mean you can't have the same hobbies and habits and stuff like that. And generally speaking, if you're in a relationship long enough with someone, you will do the same things as them.
Yeah, true. One thing I was going to ask you, what would you do if you were supposedly had an alien encounter? What would you do?
I don't really want to think about that. I don't want it to ever happen, to be honest.
Boring. No,
I've had thoughts about because they've got some alien encounters where bad stuff has happened to people in alien encounters.
Of course,
right? It's not usually a good thing.
time.
It's not usually fun for people. Alien encounters because like you're talking about these guys' podcasts, but I listen to all those episodes of Last Podcast on the Left, and they talk about obviously cryptids and all that and a bunch of other subjects, but they've got a few episodes about different cryptics and different stories around the world, mostly in America, but around the world. Nothing good happens in a lot.
I guess not.
Okay, the best case scenario for some people is they lose 2 hours of memory. The worst case scenario is not the worst, but one of the worst case scenarios is they get cancer and they die.
Okay.
They get cancer from the UV radiation or from something. These guys have spoken about stories where like an unidentified flying object has crashed, and army people have come up to it and had a look at it, and the guys who have come up to it have touched it, lost 2 hours of memory, and then been hit by high levels. They've been measured and been hit with high levels of radiation.
Okay.
And then they have to sign a thing, obviously put to them by the army, saying they can't talk about this story. And the only reason they do end up talking about these stories is they get told that they've got this really bad cancer like 5 or 10 years later.
Okay. Odd. So I guess the difference between the one I listen to and the one you listen to, yours is 100% way more serious. Mine has a bit of more of an entertainment twist, I guess.
These guys go into stories and stuff, not just with the alien stuff, but with the cryptics. Like, you look up Skinwalker Ranch. That's one specific one they talk about.
Okay.
It's just this area in America. Like, it's obviously it's a ranch, but it's like a property on a farmland where there's a whole bunch of different paranormal activity stuff, like aliens, cryptics, other things.
Oh wow!
Because you know what a Skinwalker is, don't you?
I'm not familiar with a Skinwalker, to be honest.
It's an Indian, like, essentially witch. It's an Indian witch creature that looks human, I think.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, what?
I just saw an image of it. Is it on its 4 legs or whatever?
I don't know. No, I've never looked at one, I don't think.
I just Googled it.
Should look like a normal person. Here we go. Oh, yeah, it's creepy looking.
Great.
That's generally what they supposedly turn into, something like that. They're
amazing.
like I said, they're like witches. But they do turn into like dog-like things, if I remember quickly.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh wow, yeah, that's interesting. Damn.
But yeah, oh my goodness, it's an indigenous American.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Or Indian. But yeah, Skinwalker Ranch is the third thing that comes up.
I love
there's a whole book about it.
The motto.
Oh no, it looks like there's a TV show.
The motto says, "A curse won't stay buried." Yeah, it's called a curse, mate. It's how it works.
True. But apparently, like one of the owners of the property at one point, like I'm trying to remember who, but they encountered some. I don't know what you call it a lion or tiger creature or dog or something, and they encountered this thing, right? And they just think it's an animal that's further away. But as it gets closer to them, it gets bigger and bigger until it's like the size of a truck, or a four-wheel drive, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the size of a four-wheel drive.
Okay, interesting. I just on History Channel, apparently there was a skinwalker spotted in Canada.
Well, that would make sense. Yeah.
I almost said Canberra, but Canada. Oh, that's a bit sus. Although that looks like just a normal human walking. But anyway.
Well, they're more like... Yeah, because apparently they look like people most of the time.
Yeah. It's so weird, though, how they could just be out roaming in the general eye and no one bats an eye. I guess because they don't really... But even if it was real...
Well, let me put it this way. If you were, like, alone in the woods, let's say it's the middle... Let's say it's about, I don't know, 12 o'clock, right? You're alone in the woods, you're walking around... You've walked relatively deep in the woods, and you just encounter a random guy there. Like, I'd be a little bit like, okay, I mean, I'm out here walking. I guess he's out here walking too, and maybe you'd say hi to him, but at the same time, or maybe you'd wave or something, but at the same time, you'd be a bit sus.
Yeah.
Ironically, if he was anything like you, he'd be like, oh, who's this guy? What's he doing here?
Yeah. Because the other thing they raised, I'm going to end on this note just quickly. The other note is that they raised that somewhere on Earth there's a portal, and so like these other dimensional beings are coming to Earth via these weird portals.
I mean, that is a possibility, I guess. Like there's heaps of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You've got ley lines and other things like that. You've got the Bermuda Triangle. People say that's a portal to the past or the future or some other place, or because people disappear in it.
Yeah, and planes mainly. Yeah, planes are the ones that get surprisingly the most. They get
well, yeah, but when you think about it, there's more planes there going through and flying around there.
Yeah.
I think they tend to avoid it, but maybe they don't. I don't actually know.
Yeah,
but a lot of ships have disappeared there too.
Yes, that too. Yeah, there's some. I think it's something to do with there's like a weird electromagnetic field in the Bermuda Triangle.
It affects the
navigation.
Compasses, I think.
Yeah, navigation.
And same thing with the. I think it's either called the Devil's Triangle or the Demon's Triangle. I'm not sure.
Not familiar with those two.
It's up above us near Japan.
Oh. Thanks, Japan.
Well, it's not Japan specifically. It's I think it's called the Devil's Triangle.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it is Japan. It does sound very Japanese thing.
No, it's not. It's or maybe some people say the Bermuda's Triangle that's another name for it.
Yeah, that one makes sense. The Devil's Triangle would make more sense for Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, see, because you've got
you go and you never come
Triangle. Out. That's actually here we go. So you've got one. So you've got obviously the Bermuda Triangle, which is Florida, Bermuda, and
Cuba.
Cuba, yeah. But then you've also got the one between the Philippines, Japan, and Guam.
Oh, okay. Never heard that one.
So that's the one I'm referring to,
okay.
which is that one's also. So I think the name, because everyone knows about the Bermuda Triangle, this one gets forgotten about.
Understandably.
But there are actually two of them. Let's see. Explain the mysteries. It's the Dragon's Triangle. That's it.
Dragon's Triangle.
Yeah, sorry, the Dragon's Triangle.
And that's the one over Japan and Guam.
That's the one essentially just above us.
Ah.
Not quite, but it is like above us.
The Dragon.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, the Dragon's Triangle.
Yeah, a quick look. Sus. The Dragon. The Dragon. I wonder why specifically it's called the Dragon.
Oh, I don't know, because that's a good question.
The Devil's Sea. Oh, okay. Weird.
Yes. It's interesting. I don't know if it's actually like. I think I'll have a look at Google.
The Devil's Sea is.
Yeah,
it's Pacific Ocean.
It's called the Devil's Sea. That's why.
Yeah, easy mistake.
Also known as the Devil's Triangle.
It's above. It's above. Yeah.
For Moss Triangle.
Above between Japan and Papua New Guinea.
Oh, you'll love this. Another name it's called is the Pacific Bermuda Triangle.
Original, very original.
South Tokyo too. Yeah. Sometimes considered as a paranormal location. These claims to be questioned. Yeah.
Well, I think that about
it's
wraps.
Less well known.
That wraps up all these triangle talks. Yeah.
Get goosebumps thinking about cryptic stuff.
I hope you guys learned something because I did. Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for listening and watching to us. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the Average Blokes Podcast.
And hey, have a wonderful day.
Hey, have a wonderful...
As I watch you.
Or evening.
I can't not look at you right now.
This is true. Troy
it's programmed. It's programmed into it.
Troy, you stop looking at people weird. You'll scare them. It doesn't work.
The funny thing is, even though it's just adjusting where my eyes would look, that's pretty much how I'd look if I was actually if I was going like this. That's how I'd do it. So it's actually quite well done.
It is very well done. I probably not going to do it though.
But it also looks a little unnatural because, like I said, I can't actually look away.
It looks unnatural?
I mean, I can sort of look away. Am I looking away at the moment?
Yeah, you're looking at me. Don't look at me like that. It's scary. Yeah, look away. Sorry.
Hold on.
That joke doesn't... I'm not a ooh. No!
Oh my goodness. Hey, I want you to do this. Put your hand out, right? Yep. And now look down at it. No, sorry. Yep. Now put your head close to your hand. Just do it. No, your head close to your hand.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll follow me.
2 seconds.
There we go.
There we go.
Here I am.
Alright, that's it. I'm done.
Alright, thank you for watching this thing and we'll see you all next time.
Alright, bye. There we go. It's coming back.